We continue our team by team NFL betting profiles on the early edge with Larry Hartstein and Alex Selznick. Gentlemen, we got to talk about the Los Angeles Rams. I guess I'm probably not the only one who really likes this team. I'm hearing a lot of buzz about this team, but let's start at the quarterback position. PropStarz, I start with you. Matthew Stafford, we did hear some news from Sean McVay. It felt like a little load management-ish, if you will. What are your expectations for Matthew Stafford this year?
The reasonable expectations, Sia. I don't think Matthew Stafford, I think he's still, fairly removed from the prime of his career when he was a top five MVP candidate, but he still has a great command over a Sean McVay offense that he manages very well. So more game manager than a guy who's going to win a bunch of football games on his own. But I still think he's a very efficient quarterback. He's got good weapons around him, a great offensive mind in Sean McVay. So I think he's one of the better game managers in the NFL. It almost sounds like I'm discrediting him, but I do still have high expectations for Matthew Stafford.
I'm concerned about him this year at his age 37 season, and they just announced that he's not going to practice at all this week due to a sore back. Hasn't thrown one pass to Devontae Adams or rookie Terrence Ferguson in camp. And will he be on the field when they do the joint practices? That's going to be really key. You know, the last time he missed a lot of camp, 2022, with an elbow injury, that season didn't go well. I'm also concerned because his starting left tackle, Alaric Jackson, is out with blood clots. And will he be available for week one? The backups are not very promising there. So I do have some real concern about this season.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford going into his 17th NFL season. Let's talk about his pass touchdown and pass yardage numbers. Larry, I start with you. The pass touchdown number, the over or under, if you will, is 23 and a half, and the yards are 3,750 and a half, minus 110 each way. What do you like, if anything, here?
Under on the passing yards. We saw him not, have a hugely explosive year last year, right around this same number in 37-62, even though he did play 16 games. And the concern about his starting left tackle, the concern about him missing games due to a sore back, which is the kind of thing that kind of derailed Tony Romo at the end of his career. And Sean McVay loves to run the ball. He ran the ball 450 times despite averaging less than 4 yards a carry, with a very inefficient running game last year. So I think Stafford stays under on the yards.
I'm actually on the other side here. I think Stafford going to have a bit of a bounce back season. Certainly statistically, he only had Cooper Kupp for less than 10 games. I think there's a significant upgrade, which we're going to talk more about with Devontae Adams at receiver. Only had Puka Nacua for 11 games. Tyler Higbee missed significant time as well. So he has a big upgrade, in my opinion, as far as his pass catching weapons. I think he's going to be very efficient. Again, having this experience in this Sean McVay offense. Yes, they're going to run the football quite a bit, but I still think he's more than capable. And if he gets in 15 or 16 games, I do think he's able to eclipse both his yardage and touchdown totals.
All right. And by the way, that total at BetMGM has adjusted down to 3,700 and a half as opposed to 3,750 and a half. So we love to see that live change, especially Alex, if you kind of lean to the over there. You mentioned Cooper Kupp. Alex, how do you think Cooper Kupp's just lack of being there? He's on the Seahawks now. How do you think that's going to impact the offense?
With all due respect to Cooper Kupp, it was 2021 when he had that 1,970-yard season. He had not eclipsed 900 receiving yards in his three previous seasons. So Cooper Kupp, while he really had trouble staying healthy, he also wasn't making a huge impact on the field. Now that gives bona fide number one wide receiver Puka Nacua, who I believe is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL right now, makes him their rightful number one. And then you add a guy who's going to be in a mentorship role, and Devontae Adams, who's still a very good outside receiver. And I know he really is going to bestow a tremendous amount of wisdom upon Nacua. I think he's going to have the best weapons he's had since maybe Prime Megatron and Golden Tate. So I like these. I like the weapons quite a bit. I think it's a big upgrade in the offense for them. Also having Tyler Higbee back. So yeah, I look at the offense for the Rams. I think he has very good pieces around him.
Totally agree. The ceiling is super high for this Rams team. If Stafford and his left tackle Alaric Jackson are in there, and the weapons, Devontae Adams, a major upgrade over Cooper Kupp at this point. Getting Higbee, who wasn't there for the regular season, alongside a very athletic rookie tight end from Oregon in Terrence Ferguson. So yes, the ceiling for this offense incredibly high.
By the way, I said we're 38 days away from NFL season. I just love that we're like through talking about these teams. We're bringing up like Tony Romo and Golden Tate and Calvin Johnson. It makes me feel like we're already here, gentlemen. Let's talk about the NFC West real quick. When you look at the Rams odds and you look at the San Francisco 49ers odds, they pretty much mirror each other. Rams plus 175, and we've got the Niners at plus 165. Larry, I start with you. Where do you lean on this one?
I need more value than plus 175 to get on the Rams. To me, this is a three-team race with the Arizona Cardinals being right there with the other two teams. I think it's going to come down to the end of the season. And yes, the Rams have a good shot to win it if Stafford is healthy, but I would need at least 2-1 in that division.
And I agree with Larry here. I think the Cardinals are being overlooked here. I do think they're certainly in the mix, and it's a three-team race here. But I look at San Francisco. I really think they took a serious step back. I just did not like the offseason. Really no real free agent acquisitions or draft picks that I think are going to make an immediate impact. So I think this is ripe for the picking. I think the Rams are in a really good spot here to potentially win the division. I think they have the right mixture of youth and veteran leadership, experience with Sean McVay's offense as well. So I look at the Rams. I think they're a really good bet to win the NFC West, which I think is up for grabs and maybe weaker than it's been in recent years.
Yeah, I happen to think the two best coaches in the NFL are in the NFC West. And of course, I'm talking about Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. Just my opinion. But Alex, let's talk about the Rams Super Bowl odds. They're 20-1 at BetMGM. And what I find interesting when I look at the Rams this year, but also looking back to last year, is this was the only team that looked like they could beat the Eagles. Talk to me about whether you like this plus 2,000 number.
I do like this number. See, look, you've got a coach who's done it before, who's been there, who is undoubtedly one of the best offensive minds in the NFL. You've got a quarterback who's won a Super Bowl, who's highly efficient. You've got upgraded weapons. You've got Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. I love that. You've got an excellent ground game as well. Just very balanced offense. Then defensively, a very ferocious young pass rush. And I look at the NFC, I think it's significantly weaker than the AFC. So I think the Rams will make the playoffs. And then once you get to the playoffs, it's certainly anyone's game at that point. So yeah, I look at the Rams. I think they have a pretty easy path when we look at potential paths. So I like the Rams quite a bit. I do think they provide some value here at plus 2,000.
Yeah, we saw in the second half of the season how dominant that Rams pass rush is, and they're just young and emerging with Jared Verse and Braden Fisk and Kobe Turner and Byron Young. I mean, they have so many tremendous pass rushers, and like you said, Sia, they were the only team to give the Eagles some serious issues and came very close to winning that game in Philadelphia. So yeah, this team has a very high ceiling, a ceiling of winning it all if their key pieces stay healthy.
All right, let's talk about some season-long player props. We got about a minute left. And Larry, we're going to talk about, for you, we're going to talk about Matt Stafford. And we're sticking with the 3,750 number because I do know it's toggling back and forth between 3,700 and 3,750. The question is, we taking the over or the under, Larry?
We're taking the under. I'm going under on the passing yards, even if he does manage to play a full season. This is a team that drafted yet another running back. Sean McVay loves stockpiling his running backs. He loves the running game, and he wants to protect Matthew Stafford for the postseason. So I just think he can still have a great year, and he can still come under this number, which he barely eclipsed last year, despite playing 16 games.
How about Puka Nacua to lead the NFL in receiving yards at plus 1,100 odds? Puka Nacua appeared in 11 games last year, just under 1,000 yards. He was on pace to have over 1,500 receiving yards. That would have put him second in the NFL in receiving yards. And he was injured, or he dealt with injuries during the season. I think he's fully healthy now. He's gotten a tremendous weapon opposite of him in Devontae Adams. I think Puka Nacua could absolutely explode this season for the Rams.